Hello and good day to all of you. I welcome you again to this Unit 1, Lecture 6 of First Order Circuits. In the previous lectures, we have already gone through the natural response of an unforced circuit. So, today's topic of discussion will be forced response of first order circuits, and we will be considering today an RC circuit, a simple RC circuit. Quickly, as a reminder, I would like to highlight what we have gone through till now. So, in previous class, we discussed the unforced response, unforced response of an RL and RC circuits. We have solved some numericals also. So, in that case, we have not considered any external source, for example, a voltage source or a current source, to be connected permanently to a RC circuit. So if you remember, we have considered circuits such like this, in which you have a capacitance and a resistance. Okay. Now, in today's class, we will try to have such kind of circuits in which we can have a forced circuit. That means we will try solving circuits in which we will have a voltage source, independent voltage source, or an independent current source permanently connected to the system. Okay. Before going through that, I would like to briefly tell you about some functions which we will be using in solving the circuits. Okay. So these are known as singularity functions. Okay. The detail will be followed in your signal systems course, but quickly we will be using a step function. Okay, step function is defined like this. For example, for t greater than 0, it is 1, and for t less than 0, it is 0. Okay, so this is a function which is known as a step function. Okay, so for t less than 0, it is 0, and at t is equal to 0, it jumps its value from 0 to 1. So this point 0 is the point of discontinuity. Okay, so this is a step function. This is a step function which is defined for t greater than 0, and for t greater than 0 its value is equal to 1. It is famously called as ut, and for t less than 0 it is 0. Okay, it is undefined at t is equal to 0. However, by some mathematical manipulations and properties of limits, we can find the value at 0, which comes out to be half, that you will derive in your signal systems course, but that's a different thing, which is a property that u at 0 at the point of discontinuity, it is u minus u of 0 minus plus u of 0 plus divided by half. So that is not our concern. We will be using this function for applying the voltage at t is equal to 0. So the significance of this function is that we will represent voltage which is applied for t greater than 0 from this function. So similarly, if you will suppose, what is the difference between 5 volt and 5 ut? So these are two different things. 5 volt means the 5 volt is present at the entire axis, both at negative side and positive side. However, 5 ut means the voltage is only present after t greater than 0. Okay, so this is an important concept which we will be using in different equations. So 5 volt means the voltage was also present before t less than 0, and you can take this voltage for determining the initial conditions at t is equal to 0. However, if 5 ut is written, that means the voltage is applied only after t greater than 0. Another function which is famously called as impulse function, we will try to solve some numericals from that also. So that function is defined as impulse. Okay, it is defined for t greater is equal to 0. So the value of the area under delta t from minus infinity to infinity dt is equal to 1. So this function is either defined at 0, or if you shift, you can shift it here or you can shift it here also. It can also be defined like that. Okay, so this is also a singularity function. This is also a singularity function. It is defined only at a instant. Okay, so somebody can ask you a numerical problem that what will be the response of this RC circuit if the voltage applied Vt is equal to delta t. Okay, so you can shift this any side. Okay, suppose if you are going to shift it here, then it will become delta t minus t naught. And similarly, if you will shift this step function here, it will become u t minus t naught. And if you will shift it backwards, it will become u t plus t naught. Okay, so that is the shifting property that we can use. Okay, you must have studied it in your signals course. Okay, shifting property. Similarly, we can scale also. For example, if this is delta t, its magnitude by default is 1. If I take the magnitude, and but you can also multiply it with any constant. For example, 5 times delta t, so its magnitude will become 5 times. It will become 5 delta. So all these functions we will be using, and we will be determining the response of these circuits. Another function which is also famous is ramp function. This is also discontinuous at this point. So RT is basically the integration of UT, and differentiation of UT will give you delta T. Okay, or differentiation of d by dt of RT function. This is RT function. RT is equal to T. Okay, if it is 1, then this is also 1. It is also defined for t greater than 0 if you are not shifting it to any other point. Okay, so with this background, we can start today's discussion. Today's discussion will be, we will be discussing mainly about the forced response of the circuit, forced response of an RC circuit. Okay, that means we will be permanently attaching some kind of voltage source to an RC circuit for after the switch is closed at t is equal to 0. That means the voltage across the capacitor will now consist of two terms. That is, the one is transient, okay, that will be termed into the natural response of the system, okay, because we have already gone through that capacitor voltage cannot change instantaneously. And the other response, so that will be the response which we will get at t is equal to t naught or t is equal to 0. That is the point when the switch is closed. And the second response which we will get from the circuit is the steady state response. Steady state response. Okay. So that steady state response will be, that is also known as forced response. So that response is also known as forced response. That response will happen at t is equal to at 5 t naught, you say, or practically you can, famously it is called that what is the response of the circuit at t is equal to infinity. Another thing is that the forced response of the circuit, forced response of circuit is decided by the voltage, external voltage or current source. Okay, so the circuit initial conditions has no role to play in it. Okay, so force response or steady state response, the circuit initial conditions have no role to play. Okay, so this kind of response is also known as force response or steady state response or zero state response. Zero state response. So what do you mean by zero state response? Okay, I should change the color so that it will not become monotonous. Okay. So there is one word which is used which is known as state. So state means initial. For in RC circuit and RL circuit, state means state is a variable. We'll also go through in a detail. That is, what do you mean by state? That initial value of capacitor voltage and inductor current. Even if it is zero, you should know this that it is zero. Okay, that is important. So without knowing the state, if you don't know the state of the system, you cannot determine the total response of the system. Okay, so its total response of the system is a combination of natural response, that is NR, and steady state response to this. So steady state response plus natural response is the total response of the circuit. Okay, so we can quickly write it down that the total response of the circuit is equal to the natural response. Okay, natural response, that is because of initial capacitor voltage and initial inductor current. Okay, so that is known as natural response of the circuit plus the forced response. So natural response is also known as zero input response. That means the external input has no role to play in deciding the natural response. The second is the forced response of the circuit. Forced response of circuit. So it is also known as zero state response. That means for forced response, the initial capacitor voltage, that is V0, and initial inductor current, that is I0, will not play a role in deciding the final values which the capacitor and inductor current will be having. Okay. So for determining the total response of the circuit, we need to know the natural response as well as the force response. So if the initial thing, suppose I tell you that you cannot determine the total response if you don't know what is initial I naught and V naught. That is at t is equal to t naught. That means at the point at which the switching is happening, you need to know what is V naught and what is I naught. If you don't know these values, then you cannot determine the response of the cannot determine the you cannot determine the response of the circuit. Small form we write like this. Okay, so even if it is zero, then this is also a information that we need to. Now with this background, we can calculate what will be the force response for a RC circuit. So we take, so this is a RC circuit. Okay, this is initial, this is the input voltage. We can call it Vin, which is equal to Vs, that is the source voltage. And we can also take a capacitor, which is having initial voltage of V0, and V is the variable V which we need to find, or Vt which we need to find. Now, as you can see that we are closing the switch at t is equal to 0. We can also close the switch at t is equal to t naught. Okay. So, what will be the equations which will be, we want to find out the response of this capacitor voltage. We are interested in finding out how this capacitor voltage VCT, that is here, or you can write it like this, VCT, how will the VCT will vary if we are going to put a forced. Now there are two conditions. So V naught is the initial condition, that is the initial capacitor voltage, so that will decide the transient part or the natural response, and Vs is the, why it is called a forced response, because we are forcing the circuit through a external voltage source, that is Vs. So Vs will define the forced response of the. Okay. So quickly we can write down the KCL. Writing KCL. This is equation 1. We can write down, if you see this equation, I C dV by dt is equal to Vs minus Vu upon R. So if we take it, it will be like this: C dV by dt is equal to Vs ut minus Vc. This is the capacitor voltage which we are going to find out. This is Vc divided by R. Now when we take you to the RHS side, it will become Vc minus Vs ut by R. The important thing here is this: we are not writing Vs, but we are multiplying Vs, that is the source voltage, by ut. Okay, so that means we are applying our forcing function at t is equal to 0. Okay, so this is a something which you need to keep in your mind, that VST and Vs and VSUT are two different things. Okay, so for here they have not written VSUT because it is being understood from the figure that we are closing T at T is equal to 0. So obviously Vs was 0 before T less than 0. We have only applied it after T greater than 0. Okay, so we are forming a differential equation as we have done it earlier also. So dV by dt plus V by RC is equal to V by RC ut, and then you can simplify, you can mark it as equation 2. This becomes 3, this becomes 4. So finally we can write down with some algebraic manipulations dV by V minus Vs is equal to minus dt by RC. Now if you take integration both sides, we need the V naught we have written, that is the initial condition, that is the 0 time, what is the voltage V naught. So as you already know that this is the integration of this will become ln V, and this will become RC is constant, so it will come out, dt integral will become dE. Now by some manipulation, simple manipulation, you can see ln Vt minus ln V naught minus Vs is equal to minus T by RC plus 0. Okay, so finally you will get this equation, that is okay. So I hope that you are able to do it. It's very simple, that ln Vt minus Vs is equal to ln V naught minus Vs. Okay, so I hope it is very simple. You can try it with yourself. Let me check one thing, then I will come back to you. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, so that means this equation, I hope up to this equation you are clear. And this is, you can term it as equation 5. Okay. So simply we have done nothing. We have written KCL and we have integration from 0 to 2t. 0 to t, at 0 we are getting an initial voltage V naught, so we have put initial conditions, and Vt is the voltage variable that we need to calculate. Okay, so if you will simplify it, the equation which you will get, the final important equation is this: for t greater than 0. Now, there are few things which you can derive from this equation. First thing is that at t is equal to infinity, the voltage Vt has is equal to Vs. What do you mean by this? It means that the capacitor is now charged to a value which is equal to the source voltage. That is the voltage now across at t is equal to infinity, the voltage Vc across capacitor. Okay, you can, for clarity, we can write it Vc, we can write it Vc, so that it becomes more clear to you. Now the Vct value has become equal to Vs. Now, if we also do not carry out this derivation, then we can also conclude that the same thing will happen here also. Okay, what will happen that after the property of capacitor, you already know that capacitor will eventually be charged to the source voltage, and that is what is really happening here. If we also do not do the derivation and just by common sense and the property of capacitor, we will tell that at t is equal to infinity, the capacitor will be charged to a voltage Vs, Vct will be equal to Vs, and it will become an open circuit. That means no current will flow, the circuit will become open. So Vct will become equal to Vst, and there the current flow will become zero. Okay, so that is also something which we can easily predict. Okay, so that is what is really happening. So this term, which is here written, is the natural response of the system. Natural response of the system. Because why? Because as you see, at t becomes infinity, the natural response of the system or this part goes to zero. That means at t is equal to infinity, the natural response of this, the natural response goes to zero. The natural, or you can say the transient response of the system goes to zero. Now, this is very, very important. That means that at t is equal to infinity, Vct, okay, V naught, that is the initial capacitor voltage, has no role to play in determining the forced response. Okay, so that means it has gone to zero. This whole term has gone to zero. That means the story of V naught, that is initial capacitor voltage, is now finished. So as you can see that V naught was there at t is equal to zero, and at t is equal to infinity, there is no term of V naught. So the capacitor is charged to a value of Vs, that is source voltage. Okay, so that process from charging, if you see here, if you see this curve, okay, this process of charging, that will also depend on the time constant. How fast it will happen, it will depend upon this. Okay, so many things are coming up. Very, very interesting things are coming up. Important concepts are coming. You should keep your concentration on. Okay, you see this equation. It is telling a lot of things. Lot of stories are there in this equation. Okay, so if you see the rate of charging, that is from how it will charge, whether it will be like this or whether it will be like this only, very, very fast, or it will be very, very slow. Okay, it will be decided by the time constant tau. Okay, RC, that is the time constant. It will decide, okay, how much quickly the capacitor will be charged. So, but when it will get charged to this final steady state value, then this term will go to zero. So this is known as this is the forced response of the circuit, which is equal to Vs. This is the transient part, or natural, transient or natural, and this complete expression is known as the complete response of the circuit. Okay, so if the R is very, very small, that means suppose you have a R and you have a C. So if this R is very, very small, that means then the charging will happen at a very quick rate. That means the capacitor will be charged to the final value of Vs at a very, very fast rate. However, if the resistance is having a large value, then this process will become delayed. that process will become delayed. And these types of delayed charging are known as overdamped systems. Overdamped system. Although this term is popular for second order circuits, but for intuition we can use this overdamped systems, or we can say the response is sluggish. We can say the response is sluggish or slow. However, if the output voltage grows very quickly, it does not get delayed, then we say that response is quick, and this will happen then when the R will become small. Okay. So suppose now another thing which you can find from this equation is that very important thing. Every time we need not to do the derivation. Every time we need not to do the derivation. So what is this equation? If you see this equation again, you will find that Vt is V infinity plus V0. That means VCT, we can say that VCT will be equal to the voltage which the capacitor will get at infinity plus V0 minus V infinity multiplied by e to the power minus t by m. So that means if you directly for any circuit, you have to write this equation only. Okay, V infinity plus V0 minus V infinity e to the power minus t by m. So that will be the complete response of the circuit. Because V infinity in our case, in this example, is Vs, V0 was V0, all DC values, and this is Vs, tau is we have calculated, so that will be the complete response of the circuit. Okay, from this figure you can see that voltage is now constant until some discharging will happen. Okay, so if V0 is 0, there is no initial capacitor voltage, then this equation will come. Vt is equal to Vs 1 minus e to the power minus t by tau ut. Again, you see ut is coming. That means we are talking only for t greater than 0. Okay. You can also find the current which will be flowing. Okay, so suddenly when you are turning on the switch, the current will flow in the system IT till the capacitor is charged to the value of Vs. When the capacitor will be charged to a value of Vs, no current will flow. The current is, you can say, Vs by R e to the power minus t by tau. So as the capacitor voltage will increase, the current will decrease. Okay, both exponentially. Okay, so this is the expression for current. IT is equal to Vs by R, and finally it will go to 0. Will go to 0. Okay. Is equal to Vs by R e to the power minus t by tau. So at tau is equal to infinity, the current will go to 0. And it should go to 0 because when the capacitor will be charged to the source voltage, the potential at the both sides, this side and this side, will be equal, and hence the current will become 0. So this expression is correct, which is found by multiplying this equation, which we have already told you in lecture 3. So important conclusions: that natural response or transient response is the circuit's temporary response that will die out without time. The word is die out with time. Okay. The forced response or steady state response is the behavior of the circuit after long time, practically at time equal to infinity. Infinity does not practically means infinity, but usually we take 5 or 6 times the time period at which the switch is on. After 5-6 cycles or 5-6 T naught, 5 T naught to 60 naught, we can say that the transients have died down. Okay, so the famous expression which I have already written you, that is this. Vt for anything we can write down V infinity plus V0 minus V infinity e to the power minus t by. Okay. So if there is a time delay, that means if the switch is not closed at t is equal to 0, but some time t is equal to t naught, then don't forget to write this. It will become t minus t naught. Okay. So don't forget to write this term. Usually the students do the mistake, they write this term t only, and the switch, for example, if it is closed at t is equal to 1, then you have to write t minus 1. Okay, so a simple numerical problem which I have taken from this Sadiku problem. Okay, the switch in this figure, this is figure 7.43 of Sadiku, has been in position A for a long time. That means the switch was connected to this point for a long time, and the switch was connected to capacitor's positive part. Okay, for a long time. At t is equal to 0, the switch moves to B. That means the changeover happens at t is equal to 0. So we have determined that, first thing we have determined that the changeover is happening at t is equal to 0. Now determine Vt for t greater than 0 and calculate its values at t is equal to 1 second and 4 seconds. Okay, so quickly we can write down this equation. We have to find out Vct. So Vct will be equal to V infinity plus V0 minus V infinity e to the power minus t by tau. So that means how many things we need to find? We need to find V infinity, we need to find V0, and we need to find tau, which is equal to R Thevenin into C. Or for, we have to find this expression for t greater than 0. That means when the switch is passed on for. Okay, so first step is step 1. Step 1 is to find the initial condition. Initial condition means V0. Okay, V0 we need to find. So V0 how we can find? So at t is equal to 0, before t is equal to 0, the circuit was like this. First we should draw the circuit. So there was a 24 volt source, 3 kilo ohm resistance, a 5 kilo ohm resistance, and a capacitor. So the capacitor must have, because the switch is in position at a position for very long time, so the capacitor should have been charged to some value of V0. Okay, so this is 3 and this is 5. So that means initial condition V0 we can find out quickly by 5 divided by 5 plus 3. Obviously, the capacitor is now in parallel with this 5 kilo ohm resistance. So the voltage will be equal to the VCT, VC0 will be equal to VC 5 kilo ohm. Okay, so we voltage at voltage of 5 kilo ohm resistance. So we can quickly calculate it. 5 upon 553 into 24, that is 24, is equal to 15. So initial condition we have determined. That is V0 we have already now known to us. Okay, so when V0 is known, what we can try next? So what we have known, V0 is known to us. V0, if we have determined from initial condition, that is 15 volts. Now, when the switch is thrown at this point B, okay, so what is V infinity? After very long time, बहुत देर के बाद जब स्विच को B पे थ्रो कर देंगे, तो उस टाइम पे सर्किट कैसा होगा? हम वैसा सर्किट बना लेते हैं. ये कब है? V infinity कब है? When switch S is thrown. ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ थ्रो कर दिया उस टाइम पे आप निकालने लगे. अब B पे जब थ्रो कर दिया और उसके बहुत टाइम के बाद क्या वोल्टेज होगा? तो वो इन्फिनिटी होगा. तो व्हेन स्विच S इज थ्रोन एट B, so at B you can see from this figure, at B the resistance will be 4 kilo ohm. There will be a 30 voltage source, 30 volt voltage source, and there will be a capacitor. So the capacitor will be charged for t is equal to infinity. Now when the capacitor will be charged at infinity, now this initial condition will have no role. The initial condition have only a role at t is equal to 0 plus and 0 minus. ठीक है, इसकी कहानी खत्म हो गई. अब जब आपने B पे थ्रो कर दिया और इंफिनिटी टाइम के बाद वोल्टेज चेक किया, तो आपको BC कितना वोल्टेज मिलेगा? 30 volt. That means V infinity is equal to 30 volts. Okay, so now, and what will be the tau? Next thing is tau. Tau will be equal to R Thevenin into C. That is the resistance which is seen by this capacitor from its terminal. ऐसे समझिए कि Thevenin resistance वो resistance है कि कैपेसिटर की जगह अगर आप खड़े हुए हैं तो आपकी आंख ने कितना रेजिस्टेंस देखा. मतलब आपकी आंख अगर यहाँ पे बना दी जाए, ठीक है, तो आप कितना रेजिस्टेंस देख रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो इंटरनल तो आप क्या देखेंगे यहाँ से 4 किलो ओम देखेंगे और एक डीसी वोल्टेज सोर्स देखेंगे। तो डीसी वोल्टेज सोर्स का तो अपना इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस 0 होता है। तो बेसिकली आप कितना रेजिस्टेंस देखेंगे, आर थेवेनिन 4 किलो ओम। ठीक है, तो आर थेवेनिन हो गया 4 इंटू 0.5, दैट इज इक्वल टू 2 seconds. The unit of time constant is seconds. Now, once all these things are known, you can write down Vt is equal to V infinity, which is equal to 30 plus V naught minus V infinity. V naught was 15, V infinity is 30. It becomes minus 15 volt into e to the power minus t by tau, which is 2. So 1 by 2 is 0.5. Okay, so you can write down 30 minus 15 e to the power minus 0.5 t. So this is the complete response of the circuit. This is the complete Vt, which is shown here, is the complete response of the circuit. Now you put t is equal to 1 second and 4 second, you will get the voltage for different values of, and you can draw. So as you can see that at t is equal to 0, okay, from, let me write this expression again. So the complete expression here is Vt is equal to 30 minus 15 e to the power minus 0.5 t. So as you can see, at t is equal to 0, what is the voltage? Voltage is 15 volt, so that is equal to V naught. Correct. This is already correct. And what is V infinity? V infinity will be 30 volt. Okay, that is also correct, because so the expression Vt is now the complete response of the circuit. The graph you can draw is like this. It will start from 15, and the maximum voltage which you will get, it will be 30 volt. That will be the complete response of the, fine. So this is one numerical. Okay. Next numerical is this. Now in this numerical there is one trick which is involved. Okay. So the trick here is in UT. Okay, and so by seeing this circuit you can feel that maybe both these circuits are similar circuits. Okay, so the trick involved here is, by seeing this circuit you may get into a confusion that here is 30 volt and here is 10 volt. No, at the trick here is that for t less than 0, 30 ut is 0. Okay, that means it has to be replaced by a short circuit. Why? Because ut was defined only for t greater than 0. So this voltage was not there for t less than 0. That means for a circuit for t less than 0, you can draw a circuit like this. This has to be replaced by a short circuit. 10 ohm resistance, 20 ohm resistance plus capacitor and a voltage source. Now this 10 volt voltage source will remain. Okay, it was there for t less than 0 also, because I have told you if there is no ut then you can define it. However, at t greater than 0 or t equal to 0, the switch was opened. So this source will get disconnected for t greater than 0, and this source will get active. Okay. So what you need to do, I am leaving this problem for you. This is also a solved problem. Very simple. The trick I have already explained. So for the step 1, you have to calculate for initial condition. For initial condition, for example, this becomes 10 ohm, this becomes 20 ohm. So you need to find the voltage V naught. Okay, so that voltage V naught for t less than 0 is direct. The capacitor is in parallel with the source. So V naught 0 will be equal to 10 volt. Okay, Vc0, sorry, Vc0 will be equal to 10 volt. So that will be the initial condition. Now it is defined. Okay. Now for t greater than 0, for t greater than 0, you need to draw another circuit. That is what will happen at t greater than 0. So at t greater than 0, what will happen? This source will come, that is 30 ut, plus these two resistances will be there, and this capacitor will be there. Okay, simple circuit. It becomes like previous problem, 10 ohm, 20 ohm. Okay, you can quickly define what will happen at V infinity. Now V infinity will be equal to 20 upon 30 into 30. That is equal to 20 volts. So that will be VC infinity. That is the initial capacitor voltage. Okay. Now once you know V infinity and V0 is already known, that is 10 volt. R Thevenin you can easily calculate for t greater than 0. R Thevenin, what will be the resistance seen by the capacitor from its terminals? That will be a parallel of 10 ohm and 20 ohm. Okay, so you will easily calculate. It will become 5 by 3 seconds, and then you can write down this equation. That is VCT is equal to V infinity plus V0 minus V infinity e to the power minus t by 2. So V infinity is known, V0 is known, everything is known. So this is basically the complete response of the circuit. This is the force part and this is the transient part. The transient part will die out after t is equal to infinity. The force part will return. Okay. Okay, so this much from my side today. If you have any queries, you can put it on your Google Classroom or we will discuss in our next class.